15th of February 2024. Thank you for joining us for another exciting edition of the Camnet TV Breakfast Show on a Tuesday. Wherever you're watching us, it's good morning to you. We're coming live to your screen via DSTV on channel 274, Go TV channel 25, Top Star channel 106, as well as Facebook and YouTube. And we do understand that there are a lot that is happening, and we'll also give you a platform where you can also give us your concerns as well as a perspective on what we're going to be discussing today. For I know that we're going to be hosting the Online Association of Zambia that are concerned in terms of issues relating to taxis or online hailing companies that are being conducted in the country. And I'm not alone in the studio. I'm joined by my colleague in Vincent Piri. Good morning, Mr. Piri.
Morning, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, as you can see.
Yes, but you seem to be in all smiles, so I was asking questions.
No, maybe I need to remind you, tomorrow is 14.
Tomorrow is 14?
Yeah.
That's why you're excited?
Yeah.
Well, he's so much excited about Valentine's being tomorrow, and hopefully you prepared something, but...
no, I haven't prepared. Actually, I'm prepared to receive something, not to give.
Okay. But for me, I think I'm readily available for counting sugar.
I think I'll join you.
You have to join me. Alright, without further much ado, thank you so much for joining us this morning once again. Let's get to look at the health corner from one of our doctors, and we get to see what they do have for us this morning.
Everybody, my name is Dr. Mainga Nalobe. I'm a medical doctor with the Medical Women's Association of Zambia. Today we'll continue talking about cholera, and today we'll be looking at the prevention of cholera. Yesterday we defined what cholera was, and we talked about what it is and what it does to the body. So today we'll now talk about how to prevent this disease. So firstly, to prevent this disease, yesterday we talked about the ways in which it's contracted, and one of the ways was through water. So we should make sure that we're using safe water, and by safe water I mean that this is water that's free from germs. How do we make our water safe and free from germs? We can boil it, and if you don't boil it, you can use chlorine. So you can buy chlorine from your local stores, read the instructions on how to use it, and add it to your water to make your water safe. Secondly, we talked about how you can contract the disease by buying food from places that maybe like on the streets, that we don't know how the food was prepared and how the food was cleaned before. So especially during times like rainy season when cholera is very high, we would want to reduce on buying foods from places that you do not know how they prepared the food. Third, we would also want to make sure that we always wash our hands after using the toilet, before eating, after changing babies' nappies, in all ways. And how do we wash our hands? We wash our hands with soap and water. For 20 minutes, we teach our children how to wash our hands, and we always wash our hands. So before a meal, before preparing a meal, mothers, before preparing a meal, after changing baby, you always wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Also, we want to make sure that we cook our food very well, and we clean our fruits and vegetables. Mostly, we also want to, before eating our fruits, we can also peel them. We wash them first with soap and water sometimes, and then we can also peel them to reduce the risk of contracting this disease. Also, we want to make sure that every time anyone suspects that they have cholera, they make sure that they seek medical attention, and this will also help in preventing, because you reduce the spread. If you just sit at home thinking you have cholera and you keep touching surfaces, you keep preparing food for people, giving people water to drink, you are increasing the risk of contaminating your loved ones. So you make sure that every time you think that you've contracted this disease, you rush to your nearest medical hospital, and so that you can see whether or not you have it, and if you do, they'll treat it as wise. And then we also want to use proper toilets and latrines. And we make sure that our latrines and toilets are always kept clean. If they have a seat, we always close the seat cover. especially during rainy season. For the places that we know always flood, we make sure that maybe during rainy season that place is not in use, or reduce contact with those areas, but make sure that our toilets and latrines are always kept clean. One other way in which we can reduce and prevent contraction of this disease is by washing our hands. We wash our hands every time before preparing meals, after using the toilet, after changing the babies. And how do we wash our hands? We make sure we wash our hands with soap and water for a period of at least 20 seconds. So we teach our children how to wash our hands, and also we always wash our hands after the things that I've talked about for at least 20 seconds. Another form of prevention that has been recently introduced by the Ministry of Health is the cholera vaccine. So this vaccine is given orally, and for more information on it, especially if you're living in a place that's mostly affected by cholera every year, it's good that you go to your nearest medical facility and you find out about how the vaccine is given and when exactly it's given, so that you can be given and you know that vaccines help with prevention of cholera. Thank you so much for watching today. My name is Dr. Mainga Nalube, and continue watching Camnet TV.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mainga Nalube, right there, just giving us some of the tips in terms of preventing cholera. We do know that this outbreak is still with us, and we've continued to record numbers in terms of how the outbreak has been. As of yesterday, we did see about 112 cases being recorded, and bringing the cumulative total to about 18,519 cases, meaning that we still need to do a lot more. And what is so worrying is the fact that most of these cases are being recorded from communities. And when you look at the number of deaths that have been recorded this far, you're going to attest to the fact that a total of 652 deaths have been recorded from the time the outbreak hit us as a country in 2023 as of October. You find out that 264 deaths were from facilities, and then the remaining 388 were from communities, meaning that we as communities, as a people, we need now to begin to look at preventive measures that are going to work for us, and ensuring that those little things that do matter when we talk of hygiene as well as sanitation are looked at.
Yeah, and for me, I think what stands out for me is the fact that we need messages of cholera and how to prevent it way before we have an outbreak. Because you understand that this is a disease that is associated, first of all, with death. And for you to open up, it's a bit difficult. The time you'll be opening up, it will be too late. Because
you feel people are going to shun away from you?
Yeah.
Because they'll consider you as a dirty one?
Yeah.
Well, but that's how it is. But let's get to look also at the money market at this time, and also get to look at how the kwacha is faring against the major convertibles. You have it on your screen, Vincent.
Yeah, so we have the US dollar there buying at 26 kwacha 65 ngwe and selling at 27 kwacha 18 ngwe. The euro there is buying at, as you can see, 28 kwacha 17 ngwe and selling at 29 kwacha 26 ngwe. The South African rand is buying at 1 kwacha 40 ngwe and selling at 1 kwacha 43 ngwe. And the Great British pound there buying at 33 kwacha 62 ngwe and selling at 34 kwacha 28 ngwe. And this was as updated today, 13th February 2024, as at 07:37 hours exactly. And for us, the interest there, Nelson, is always the dollar.
Yes, and yesterday was somewhere
20 something,
27, 20 something, and yeah, we've seen a reduction in terms of 27 to 18 ngwe. I think numbers don't lie.
They don't lie.
Just like I did indicate yesterday. Yes, there's a steady reduction.
Yeah.
But I feel people need to see more, because what really matters to them out there is they've had breakfast, they've had lunch, they've had supper.
That's it.
That's it.
And mostly what we see is when the dollar goes up like that, prices usually go up. And when the dollar comes, starts appreciating, as we are seeing there, we rarely see prices reducing.
Prices take a lot of time because you find that even common shop owners themselves, even with odd stock, they'll tell you that dollar. Yes.
But
once things begin to appreciate, especially when dollars as well as the kwacha, you find that it takes time for certain things to actually begin to be in place. So I've been wondering, where do we go wrong? Is it that we are reactive more than proactive?
Probably. But again, I think for on the side of our colleagues who are into trade, I think we shouldn't exaggerate things. Yeah, because I know that reduction doesn't translate into prices reducing, but we have seen many times that the dollar goes up and it the kwacha appreciates, but we don't see prices coming down. It's either they maintain or they reduce maybe minimum by a minimum of 15 ngwe. Yeah.
Well, in case you're joining us this morning, this is the Camnet TV Breakfast Show on a Tuesday. I'm your host Nelson Zulu, as well as Vincent Pires. We get to dive into the discussion for today. We're going to have a conversation with Online Taxi Association of Zambia that are also going to be bringing us insight in terms of what they expect to see come the year 2024 and what are some of the challenges and as far as 2023 is concerned, and how do they look forward, how do they feel the business should improve further. But at this moment, let's get to look at some of the stories that were making headlines in our previous bulletin, and one of the stories that we get to look at under the zooming headline segment, where you too can also be part of it by simply giving us your perspective in case you missed the stories that we're going to play on your screens, and ensure that also you look at the bigger angle of it that comes with these stories. Yeah, and I've got a couple of stories which I'm going to put them in a bunch so that we look at things as they move. Interestingly so, we've got a story where Mungu-based clergyman at Lagos Pensulo has appealed to government to expand selling points of Eagle's mini meal brand. Pastor Pensulo of Union Baptist Church says many citizens in the district are facing difficulties in accessing the mini meal. And then we also get to look at a story where Minister of Information and Media Cornelius Mwetwa has implored the newly formed opposition United Kwacha Alliance, UKA, to offer meaningful solutions to government. Mr. Mwetwa says the formation of the opposition alliance is welcome and government will not interfere in its registration. Then we also get to look at a story where government has implored the newly recruited teachers to avoid falling into a debt crisis. Ministry of Information and Media Permanent Secretary Tabo Kawana says that falling into unnecessary debt would demotivate the teachers. Issue ya tumaloni. Issue ya tumaloni. You know that you are a civil servant, so you want
at least people should see.
People should see.
Life should change.
Life should change.
Yeah.
But we need to be financially disciplined. Come on.
Yeah, and unfortunately, okay, I won't say much.
Alright, she won't say much because there's a person that was born in March. Anyway, let's get to look at those two stories and we'll be back on the other end.
Western Province is one of the provinces facing a significant challenge with the high cost of commodities, particularly when it comes to the price of maize meal. In response to this issue, the government has introduced Zambia National Service Meal Meal. However, this solution has created some difficulties for the people as they have to travel long distances and wait in queues to access the commodity. During an interview with Camnet News at one of the shops, a long queue was observed and those spoken to expressed their concerns about the difficulty they face in obtaining the meal.
kono problem yetu nayo kumana kya kuni kono ko leka ku baba na mashe nyama ngata bona baleka una mashe nyama saka kona peda 3 days inge otange okuta amu bone moni net ni mtu ya kai kwini peda 3 days misanga ta futen kutomwa patene ne kaba 5 kwacha kipeto antale kabu kona kwini kona kungana ne kaba dada malawi hakuna teniji kona kwimanyando lwa kumana kiba kuyaba mu machende ata kutata bwa kumana kikuli bafahu banana banyani ba zaide kwa bata heba to ba nya mwalai mutu ali mumuleka nane kama matakati kona ku ufa banana yo waye mamwalai yo waye mamwalai wena yatireka ikimoko to nyenkera na twalo
problem kumanya ya kulibatwali ba muntu nakuleka masakate nikapa 20 takulikwenda nkuli mubaye mezi mwalai ni batu aba kitu kamza tokeleka kono batu basokule kama kupi kabungata twali muleka 10 20 kono batu babangata ngata abazokobule kwali aluyi mobulozi moka pasi numuyambi kafa bwaba kutamazo ozo bali kupakera
ila ukata basi nafuye mirela ngamwala ni kuzo akusasa tamazi bwana barubone wateni bashemi baruna basi barukorera karatwana.
Ofo Union Baptist Church is appealing to the government to extend the supply of the meal to other shops in order to help address the difficulties people are experiencing in accessing the commodity.
Situation here in Mongo. I started coming to check for millimil yesterday. I found 2 trucks of loading the millimil and they couldn't sell the millimil. They said no, we have run out of receipts. Come tomorrow. So I went and today again I came 7:30 and this is 11 hours. I haven't bought any millimil. We are seeing that the process is very slow. The millimil is printed, but the sellers who are selling, they are very slow. We don't know if they are selling backdoor or we don't know how they are selling the millimil. It's a very bad situation and the people here are really struggling. They need the millimil and the millimil is printed, but now the selling system, it's very slow.
For Camnet News, Musiewa Kabila, Mongo District, Western Province.
Monday, 12th February 2024, Minister of Information and Media Cornelius Mwetwa addressed the nation in a briefing that tackled numerous national issues. Among the issues addressed is the formation of the United Kwacha Alliance, where he implored the opposition pact to offer meaningful solutions to the government if they are to remain relevant. Mr. Mwetwa, who is also the chief government spokesperson, underscores that the formation of the opposition alliance is welcome and that government will not interfere in its registration in any way.
Government will not stand on the way of the United Kwacha Alliance in its formation and registration processes for as long as they meet the legal requirements of the land. We are happy with their coming together. Maybe now they can begin to consolidate some ideas which they can use as a measure for checks and balances to government. The way they have been this far, we have had a situation where literally there has been no real and reasonable opposition in this country.
This comes after a media briefing by the recently formed United Kwacha Alliance on Sunday afternoon, who in their address called on government to call for dialogue and resolve the Barossa issue once and for all. But the minister has explained that government has opted for quiet diplomacy on the issue.
And pertaining to and in respect with the current debate over the Barossa issue, the new Dawn administration has opted for quiet diplomacy, given that government attaches great importance and respect to traditional leadership.
Meanwhile, the minister also disclosed that government has evacuated outspoken Chimbakambwiri to South Africa for specialized medical treatment.
We wish Mr. Chimbakambwiri a very swift and expeditious quick recovery. We may differ on politics, but But at the end of the day, we are all citizens. You know, life, you only live it once. Government Republic of Zambia has lawfully evacuated him to South Africa so that he can be attended to specialized medical treatment. Unlike what he had done to run away to go and hide in Zimbabwe.
Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
Malone. Loans will demotivate you because you begin to feel like you are getting peanuts because you got a loan. So avoid. Only get a loan when it is absolutely necessary. Don't get a loan because you can. It will be cut. Then when you cut, and you see for us as civil servants, you get a loan here, a loan there, a loan there. You go home, you have nothing. Then now you get demotivated. You stop going for work because you feel there's nothing you're doing. So stay away from unnecessary appetite for loans. Work and you enjoy your salary at the end of the month. Because this government will pay you every month. There are no stories of people not being pushed. Go and teach and go and supplement on what government has brought on board. And you should also go and respect government policies. Don't go there and say, go and bring 200 kwacha for Cobra. So the sector is a sector where we have a bigger picture as a teacher to deliver to our children. Sir, it is only where you have a good leader where you find free education from early childhood up to grade 7. I mean up to grade 4. Building the future of the country.
I'm so happy because I know nobody. I just applied, and I'm very happy to the government of the day because he has made it possible. I wasn't expecting that I was going to be picked, but by grace, and he has created opportunities for us teachers, especially in the education sector, of which we are so grateful, and my fellow teachers here are all happy. We are so excited.
Those are the 3 stories that we played for you, and hopefully you picked 1 or 2 information that you might have missed out when it comes to the current affairs of the country and what is happening on the ground. Interestingly so, we also played a story where Minister of Information and Media, Mr. Cornelius Moita, had welcomed the formation of an alliance in United Quarter Alliance, UCA. But we won't delve much into that because we know it's a Community Tuesday. Let's get to look at some of the stories that you have there. We also get to usher in our guest this morning, who is Pastor Charles Kaila from the Online Taxi Drivers Association of Zambia. Hopefully I've said it right, Vincent.
Yeah, okay, so some stories that I have here is Opposition Patriots for Economic Progress (PEP) leader Sean Tembo has argued that the Constitutional Court has jurisdiction to hear matters concerning President Hakainde Hichilema's performance of his executive functions. This is in a matter in which Mr. Tembo wants a declaration that President Hakainde Hichilema's utterance of the Bemba word "ukuponoka" is low standard and contravenes Article 92, sub-Article 1 of the Constitution of Zambia. Another story here is more than 50 cholera volunteers at Lusaka's Kanyama General Hospital have accused their supervisors of sidelining them following President Hakainde Hichilema's directive to employ all cholera center volunteers. The aggrieved volunteers have accused UPND constituency chairman Justin Kabwe of hijacking the president's noble gesture by bringing new people as volunteers at the hospital in turn for them to get permanent jobs. Another story is coming from the Security Exchange Commission, SEC. which says Zambia's capital markets continued to show resilience during the last quarter of 2023, as evidenced by increase in market indicators. SEC Acting Chief Executive Officer Diana Sichone says among the increased market indicators is the market capitalization and the Luce All-Share Index.
Opposition Patriots for Economic Progress leader Sean Tembo has set aside his social media postings and filed before the Constitutional Court that the court has the power to hear matter concerning President Hakainde Hichilema's performance of his executive functions with dignity and integrity. The opposition leader is seeking a declaration that President Hichilema's utterances of the Bemba word "ukuponoka" is a low standard, lacks dignity, leadership and integrity, and contravenes Article 92, subsection 1 of the Constitution of Zambia. Mr. Tembo demands that the Bemba word lacks decency and respect for the Zambian people and of the diversity of different communities of Northern Province. But in responding, the state through the Attorney General, Mulilo Kabesh, has advised the court to dismiss the matter and extend the time being channeled to it to deserving matters, explaining that there is no contravention of the Constitution by President Hakainde Hichilema. However, in an affidavit in opposition to the respondent's affidavit in support of notice of motion to raise preliminary issues, the opposition leader submits that his actions are neither frivolous nor vexatious. Mr. Tembo states that he raised constitutional issues for determination which fell under the Constitutional Court, and contends that the issues raised are fit for trial, and prays that the concerns by the Attorney General in the preliminary issue context be dismissed with costs to him. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
She is in tears as what seemed to be a lifetime opportunity is slowly slipping away. She is among more than 50 cholera volunteers who claim to have been sidelined by supervisors at Kanyama First Level Hospital after President Hakainde Hichilema ordered their employment countrywide. The aggrieved volunteers have accused the United Party for National Development, UPND Kanyama constituency leadership, of engaging other volunteers in haste in order to have them employed.
Isema coordinators vatu ba Messi banavomera uti list banapasa ba John makana uti list banapasa tizambela chiti so isema tifuna tibati konkereko issue cause pate katonga watita chepa but konkereko issue ba konkereremo bonse bantu bakazenda okazipitamu because we deserve the jobs we worked.
Bantu corruption kuti ingani wayikonge chifukwa bafuna watinyengerere bachosapo mazina yatu database mulibe isamire tinangena pachiyambi tina fightinga muja kolera tina fightinga kolera zona pa kolera yambosira muntu amene analinkezi kunyumba nakana kolera isitenzo chosa vitumbi I group amene muona hapa one of muzatu anadwala kolera anafuna kufa.
Speaking Monday afternoon when they stormed the office of Kanyama constituency-based UPND member Wene Hachombwa, the volunteers appealed to authorities to intervene in the matter as the president offered them employment.
After President Akamba, vamba kukamba kuti I'm the one who is in charge. Kupasa nchito. Mairotenze pa Chinika Secondary School. One of those people kumwamba mina ma constituency chairman kuchosa mao ya kuti ngati mufuna ndani mvutere PF. Ngati mufuna. Who makes such statements? Yeah. Nobody makes such a statement. After a president makes a decree, then umuntu amboneka kuti ni opposition kudala.
Reacting to the concerns, Mr. Chombo has assured the volunteers that they will benefit from the president's directive.
So long mwinayo I letter, za making sure with nchito msejani mungene. That is not necessary for now. What is key here is we challenge our colleagues in charge. The people in charge at Kanyama First Level Hospital, we shall follow up this issue because we are interested.
But when contacted for a comment, Kanyama constituency, UPND chairperson Justin Kawe distanced himself from the accusations.
I was not a member or part of those that were writing those names. No, not at all. I think that's one thing that we need to put straight. I'm not me. No. There are some leaders within sections that were writing them. That's why it's better to ask them. Maybe there are members those that started already fighting for the peace pandemic, not the one they're talking about, because they may be mixing these things. For those people that were writing them, they are there. Maybe there's a different section actually where people that we claim that were left out. Oh, it's just a crying to say they want employment when they hear that.
For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
What we hope to see by the time we are done with this plan is real tangible results that we can be able to point out to. The most notable one is the number of listings. We hope to see our capital markets grow. We hope to see our collective investment schemes grow to about 260 million. We hope to have a rating for the country. I don't know if you've heard about frontier ratings and so on. So Zambia currently doesn't have a rating that signals to investors out there what sort of investment grade country it is. So we hope to have a rating as an emerging country.
The Lusaka All-Share Index showed notable growth driven by increased stock prices. The CIS sector experienced growth with a significant rise in domestic and foreign assets under management. Corporate bonds showed resilience with a 38% increase in Q4 of 2023 compared with Q3. Green finance initiatives, including the registration of a debut 200 million green bond by CEC Renewables, were positive.
Introducing Kapi Lodges Kafiwe, a beautiful place to spend your night. At Kapi Lodges, we have affordable and comfortable rooms to meet your expectations. We are located along Kafiwe Road, Shimabala area. For more details, contact us on +260 979 476307 or +260 976 057123 or +260 764 700 003. Email kapilodges@gmail.com. Kapi Lodges, my second comfort, home.
Thank you so much for still staying locked to Camnet TV breakfast show on a Tuesday. That is the 13th of February 2024, and we did the play stories for you on the Zooming headline segment. Hopefully you've also catched up in terms of information that you might have missed. But right about now, we transition into our interview where we get to host Online Taxi Drivers Association of Zambia country coordinator, and this is Pastor Charles Kaila, just to help us understand the plight of the Online Taxi Drivers Association, especially here in Zambia, and what they look out for in terms of 2024 itself. Good morning, Pastor.
Good morning, Nelson, and good morning to our viewers.
Thank you so much for joining us again in the year 2024. I remember hosting you on the Lunchtime Cafe in 2023, and Happy New Year to you. I think this is the first time we're having this interaction.
Thank you. Happy New Year to Camnet crew.
First thing first, let's get to understand currently how you look at 2024 in terms of issues relating to operations as Online Taxi Drivers Association of Zambia.
2024, it's a crucial year for us. And it's a year that actually as an association, we are going back to to the ground and to see to it that our drivers are safe. And this is a crucial year. All in all, I would say 2024, it is a very crucial year for the association, because we have seen how much the driver have suffered, and we are not going to give up in this year. It's a year that calls for a lot of hard work.
Just recently, we did see online taxi drivers protest over what they termed as poor condition of service by some of the online hailing taxi companies, simply because there was a few of pump price hike. But the argument has been that as a country, we have little or no say over what happens on the international market. So there's no need for the taxi drivers, the online taxi drivers, to put on record for them to protest. Your view in terms of the effect of the fuel pump price as well as vis-a-vis conditions of service for online taxi drivers in the country?
Thank you so much, Nelson. That is a very vital question, and it needs a lot of wisdom, actually, even as we respond to that question. The drivers, the online drivers, actually they had all right to protest, because things are not well with the online driver. So even as they protest, even as they cry out to the government and also to the car-hailing companies, I think they have all that right to protest, because online business, it's a business which has got cheap fares, and these cheap fares are at the expense of the driver. So for them to cry out, I think there is no any offense. They have all right to cry out, looking at the prices of fuel, how they've been hiked, and looking at the cheap rides, the exploitation which the driver is going through. I think with me as a coordinator of the association, as long as they follow the right channel, they do not violate any law, I think they're okay to go and protest. I think that's a good way of dealing with issues.
Now, on top of my head, Mr. Kanda, is the fact that we have seen that these concerns have been there. Even in 2023, they've been there for some time, that we are subjected to poor conditions of service as drivers. Is there a way that someone has the right to change from one company to the other because they feel the conditions of service are not okay? And we've seen that from the time. Also, that has been some sort of a stance from that of government to say, if you feel this other company is not treating you well, change to another company that will treat you well.
I love the way you've brought up that question, that issue. It's actually a very good question, which a lot of people have been asking our drivers, including me myself. They've been asking to say, why not shift to other platform? How I wish this question was asked when these car-hailing companies were just being introduced on the market. I think that was the right time for them to pose such questions, but not after they have monopolized the market. It is a wrong question at the moment. It's a wrong step. I want to repeat that one. That is a very wrong step that one would actually tell the association or tell the drivers to move away from the platform. It's more like you are telling the woman you have been staying with for a number of years, and after achieving what you've achieved, Nelson, with that woman, then you have masses a lot of wealth. Then you start telling this woman to say, if you're not comfortable with me, leave my house. Why not go to another man? So I would say that is a very wrong statement, and whoever said that should actually reverse, because these are the people that have fought with these car-hailing companies to see that they can be famous today, they can be where they are today. All these car-hailing companies are where they are today because of these same drivers So for them to tell them to say, move away from the platform, after all what the drivers have achieved for them, that is very wrong. In other ways, it's just violating, it's part of violating human rights, because these are the drivers who've worked hard to see to it that online business is where it is today. So the only thing that is to be done is to help the drivers and to create a platform where a driver is able to work and enjoy, because currently the driver is not enjoying what he's working for. So it's very wrong to tell the driver today to shift after they have benefited and after they have monopolized the market.
Okay, so mine, I would like to get first of all, how are your members coping in this new month where prices have been increased of fuel?
It's a crucial one, Vincent. It's a tough one. Life out there is very tough for the driver. The driver is in pain. The driver is in agony, if I can use that term. The driver is agonizing out there. There was a clip that was posted in our group. The driver shouting, I think that clip has gone viral. The driver shouting at a client. This client was trying to request the driver to speed up, to hurry up, because I don't know for whatever reason. Then the driver was upset, because these are the drivers who are already angry. They are very, very annoyed. They are not happy with what they're working for. The guy responded harshly, and it sounded to be funny. It's sort of a comedy, but it's because life for the driver is hard. Like the few drivers that I've seen operating from isolated areas, areas far away from where the majority of the drivers are. They are able to negotiate. They are able to talk to the clients that kindly top up for me. I don't know how much it is showing that side. Then if the client opens up the price and tells the driver that this is how much it is showing on their end, that other drivers are negotiating. They are not going at those prices which these car-hailing companies are offering. They're able to negotiate. And also, I thank the Zambian citizens, those that are able to reason with the drivers. There are some clients who are well informed with fuel prices. They're able to negotiate with the driver, and they're able to top up something because they are sympathizing with the driver. But it's quite hard at the moment.
Okay, now these concerns, Pastor, come after other concerns of security. I know last year you staged some protests, and we even lost one of your members. Yes. How is the situation at the moment, security-wise?
I'm very happy because Camnet has also come on board to help sensitize or call upon the association to deal with these issues concerning the security of the drivers. And as an association, we've reached at a point where we are no longer considering, no longer looking at the well-being of the driver alone, but we are also looking at the well-being of the passenger. So concerning security concerns, we have gone ahead of you people, and I'm glad that you have asked that question. We have had some meetings with the Zambia police. I thank the Zambia police also because they have welcomed the association. Even I think for the past 1 week, we've had meetings with the Zambia police at Central Police, the headquarters. So we've seen that the police are doing their level best to ensure the safety of the driver. They called for a meeting which involved also the car-hailing companies. I'm glad Yango was present, Orlando, and some of these car-hailing companies. They were also in attendance, like Unka and some more other car-hailing companies. They came on board, and wonderful concerns and measures are yet to be put in place for the driver. The way the police are coming in and the way they have cooperated with the association, I'm pretty sure something will be done soon. Because that meeting we had last week, I noticed that we were able to cooperate. We've never cooperated in that way for the past, I would say for the past 2 years. We've never had an audience where we sit with Yango management. I'm glad the manager for Yango was there as well. So I'm seeing that there is hope where we're going. There is hope. Now they're beginning to understand also the vision of the association. Hopefully, we are getting somewhere. We are going somewhere.
On 26th of January 2024, we did see government approve the issuance of Road Traffic Public Vehicle Amendment of 2023 that would see the effective regulation of online taxi business as well as any other companies. But for some time also we did get correspondence from you via the president that had indicated that there was a lack of consultation in terms of ensuring that this law is put in place. But I would like to find out from you, what would be the basic solutions at the moment that should be employed to ensure that both your customers as well as your drivers remain safe?
I love the way you are bringing questions. Vincent and Nelson. I'm so happy that you followed us so closely as an association. The immediate thing that has to be employed as for now, number one, we must be able to compare these online app owners, the car-hailing companies, to increase the fares. That is number one, so that it can be a win-win situation. Then number two, we must be able to compare some of these car-hailing companies also to allow the driver to have freedom as they operate on the road, because I believe there are some car-hailing companies that do not give the driver the full the freedom that they deserve as they work on these apps. For instance, there are some apps that do not allow the driver to see their destination, where they are going. They only allow a driver to see the pickup point of the client, but they don't allow the driver to see the destination. So that is also an important factor that we have noticed as an association. Let the driver know where they are going. Let them know where they're picking up the client. Let them also know where they are going. Then, to allow also the driver to accept the order and to decline if they are not interested. Not a situation where you don't allow the driver to decline the order. I have seen one of the car-hailing companies like Bot do allow a driver to decline if they want and to accept an order. And it also displays the prices on the end of the driver. So these are the quick steps that the car-hailing companies should take. We have come to discover that it's no longer about any other individual, but it's about the car-hailing companies working hand in hand with the driver and the association. We can bring sanity on the market today by working hand in hand with the car-hailing company and also the driver and the association.
One thing also that would be also interesting is the issue relating to security among the drivers themselves. I know you've spoken about this issue, but a concern has been that even themselves, the drivers, partly they could be blamed because they've had operations, or most of those that have been attacked is due to operations that have been conducted during the night.
Okay. The driver is not to be blamed. I think I answered this question even the last interviews we had, that even the president, President Hakainde Hichilema, he talks about the economy has to keep running, be it in the day, be it in the night. The economy has to keep running. So we will not condemn our drivers. We will not condemn the driver for working at night. Maybe we can talk of being security conscious as they work at night. The drivers ought to have that security conscious, and those are the measures that we are trying also to put in place as an association. We are also trying to start training the drivers on how to operate, be it in the night, be it in the day. So working at night for the driver, it is not a problem, but we should sensitize on how they should operate. Then it comes to security measures at night. I think those are the things that we tackled with the Zambia police last week when we had a meeting with them at Central Police. So concerning working at night, I think drivers should be allowed to work at night. But let's create a platform where a driver should be safe to work during the day and during the night, 24/7. Thank you.
Well, given all these challenges that have been faced by the online taxi drivers themselves, is it safe to indicate that this still remains a viable business that we're seeing lasting into years to come?
Yeah, it is a viable business which will last in years to come if these challenges that the drivers are facing are addressed properly. But if they are not addressed properly, I'm seeing this online business landing into a mess.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm interested to know, I know someone out there might also need to know this. We might be talking about issues that some of these people do not understand. Okay, the issues of the conditions of service. Let's take, for example, a driver speaking me from here to Kamwala and is showing me maybe 70 kwacha. How much is in that 70 kwacha for a driver?
Okay.
Yes.
So when someone is picking you from here to Kamwala, then it is showing the driver a 70 kwacha, or it is showing you the client, because the driver is not aware of the price. So if it shows you 70 kwacha, then you will discover that that in that 70 kwacha there is a 16% that goes. Let me just give you the exact figure so that I'm not misquoted here, because I believe I'm speaking to masses. This is what I showed even the Zambian citizens that at Diamond TV. I think it's 2 weeks ago when we had when I had an interview with Camnet. Okay, there is a 14.5 which goes to Yango, and there is a 2.3 which is VAT. Then there is also 3.4 which goes to Yango partner. That's what is indicating. That's what is indicated on the app here.
Who is the partner?
So the partner, these are the people that register drivers. Let's say this is the biggest platform. I'm giving an example from the biggest platform. These that the guys that have monopolized the business so far. This is Yango. So we have the people that do the registration, and then we have the Yango office, main office. Okay. So the Yango themselves, they get a 14.5%. Then there is a 2.3% for VAT. This is value added tax. Then there is also a 3.4 that goes to the partners.
Okay.
So now if you do the calculation, you'll be able to find how much is deducted from the driver. Of late, they used to get about 16% from the driver. So what is the 16% of 74 kwacha? So that money has to be deducted. It goes to all these things that I've stipulated.
Okay.
So you discover that maybe the driver will have a 50 kwacha from the 70 kwacha, just in rough calculations. You discover that it's not adding up at all. It's not adding up at all.
Okay, now maybe in concluding, I would like to, I know you talked about this issue where in response to your protest, the minister suggested that you may as well explore other platforms. Now, we understand that some of these apps are not locally made. Isn't it time that we start prioritizing our own?
I think it's high time also to start prioritizing our own. And we thank God because we have a few individuals that have come up with their apps. We have MyCab, it's a local app. We also have Tienda, it is a local app. We have Ulendo, it is a local app. But again, there must be competition on the market. Competition is very vital. But this competition shouldn't be at the expense of the driver. That is my concern, or that is our concern as an association. We shouldn't segregate anyone. We shouldn't remove anyone from the market. Let investors come. But we are not going to allow them to come and exploit our drivers. And also, the government of Zambia, through the leadership of Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, His Excellency, should capitalize on these bad services that the car-hailing companies are offering. I think it's high time that the government should create the platform for their own drivers. I think Zambia is bigger than all of us. We have a lot of intellectuals, young men and women who are graduating from UNZA, who can easily formulate this app for the Zambian people, and let the government benefit together with the Zambian citizen, unlike how our drivers are being subjected to bad conditions. I think it's unacceptable.
All right, in closing, I'd like you to give a word of hope to your members.
To the drivers out there, we want you to know that we are not sleeping as an association. We are there for you. We want to ask you to join hands with the association and let's fight this battle together. Of late, the last interview that the minister had, to me, I saw an improvement in all his statement. So, drivers out there, I want you to know that we are heading somewhere. We will not give up until the driver is safe, until the driver benefits from his own labor. Thank you.
Pastor Kaira, we appreciate your presence here. Nelson Zulu, in closing, what's your word?
Well, we can only appreciate Pastor Kaila for having breakfast with us. I feel it is important that such information is also brought out, especially to these business partners that are very key in ensuring that the country's economy grows, because an economy is not just dependent on one sector but various sectors.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we could accommodate for today, 13th of February in the year 2024. We appreciate your company and do join us again tomorrow. I suppose it's a team of Afias Kaptula as well as Miriam Kayamba tomorrow. For now, it's goodbye. Have a blessed day.